Hello students, today we are going to continue with the same class design, student class what I had taken in the last video. This was the thing which I concluded in the last video. So we were discussing about class as a composite data type. Let me recap that. Class as composite data type. The data types that are based on fundamental or primitive data types are known as composite data type. Since these data types are created by user, these are also known as user defined data types, and also with the name we call it as a reference data type. So all the three are one and the same. And also I told you, if they ask you in your examination what is a composite data type, give an example. Best example for composite data type is a class, I told you. So where it is making use of all the different data types, primitive data types, combining that we are going to create our own data type. For example, student, this was the thing which I was explaining in the last video. So where each field, if I call ID, M1, M2, average, each one is called a field or a data. So collection of data pertaining to a particular object, one single object. You cannot make a combination of a different object. So collection of data pertaining to a one particular object is nothing but information. Suppose you want to process a student information or employee information, salesman information, some application if you want to create like that. In that situation, we prefer to go with the classes and object, that variety, where advanced one. Next step we will be learning where you can restrict the accessibility of these variables also, where you will be using visibility modifier. That is what we discussed about encapsulation also, where you can hide the details by giving or by making these data members as private. So when we come to the visibility modifier as a separate chapter, you will be understanding or you will be learning in detail about that. So collection of different data types means by making use of primitive data type, we create here our own data type by name student. I have taken one student example. So I tag all this under one single name student. Now student is nothing but user defined data type, or we can also call composite data type. So by using this we are going to write a program today. Last class we wrote one writing tool application. So where we created three objects, that is pen, pencil and chalk. Three objects we created, and also we saw how do we create a main class, how do we create a main method to call the rest of the methods in an order. I told you how you can make one class as a public, and how your Java file can contain any number of classes, multiple classes, and how it can be created in the same program, or if you want to create as a two separate class files also you can create, and you solve the flow of the program with an arrow mark also. So today we are going to write one more program. I just gave you one student example with ID M1, M2. Let us take one proper question. As I said, board examination you are going to get one 15 marks question based on this. One question you are going to compulsorily will get one question, but this will be combined with the constructor. Once you are thorough with this, constructor becomes too easy. So combine this class and object variety program with constructor, you will get one 15 marks question in the section B. Definitely you will get on that. So this variety questions are also important. Question looks bit lengthy, even program also bit lengthy, but flow, writing, the order of writing, execution, everything is too easy to write. Very easy steps. You just have to accomplish the steps what has been given in the question. That's it. So very easy to write the program. So last class we had taken one student as a composite data type. So if they ask you, I told you to write this example. Let us take one program and let us write a complete program with the class design and also creating an object in one more class. So for that I have taken one question here. Programs on classes and object. So here create a class student with the following details. So we have taken data members or instance variable. When you get the question like this, the question flow goes like this. I have highlighted also, you can see here, data members or instance variable, they will only give you here what are the variables you are supposed to take, and they will give you description for what each variables are doing, for what purpose you are taking. Then member method. Inside the same class you are going to write the data member and member method, which is nothing but encapsulation. So along with that you are going to create an object for the above class and call the member method. So let us see the complete question. You are going to take one ID, marks in 2 subject, and average you are taking to find the average of 2 subject. Then there is one set method here. Set method is going to take 3 arguments. One is ID, TM1 and TM2, which is going to take the marks in 2 subject. These are all argument variable. Set method is going to set the data member with this received argument. Then there is one more method here, calculate, which is going to find the average of 2 subjects. Then we are writing display method to display all these ID, that is ID, M1, M2 average. That part will be displayed in the display method. Then once you finish with the design of this class student, so when the question is saying that design a class with the name student, you are all supposed to write a class with the name student only. If you change the name, you lose the mark here. So marks are allotted for each and every steps. So be careful with everything, each and every line you just follow the steps. Once you finish with the class student, you have to create one more class, and in that class you are going to create an object and you are going to call the member methods in an order. So if you see the methods here, we have one set method, calculate method and display method. If you do not create a main class, if you do not call this in a order, then user will be getting all the 3 methods. If they right click, if they create an object of student, they will be getting set, calculate and display. But end user doesn't know in which order to calculate. As a programmer, you know each and every method for what purpose you have done. So it is better you only call all the methods in an order, and for the end user give only one method. If they just click on that method, rest of the methods are called in a particular order. So let us see how we are going to write this. So to write the program, I have just taken the copy of this into BlueJ here. So I have taken one question here. This is the question, same question I have copied here. So we are going to write. Later I will make this as comment. If I make as a comment, it becomes like this. So you will not be able to, the clarity won't be there. So parallelly, to check the question also, I kept like this. Later I will be making the entire question as a comment. So we start with the class. Create a class with the name student. So you have to start with the name student only here. Then immediately, I told you this variety, there is a slight change in the way you are starting with the program. Immediately you have to declare the data members or instance variable. So the variables what you are declaring inside the class, ID, M1, M2, average, these data members or instance variable which are created for every object. Each and every object will have its own copy. That is the reason we are going to call these variable as instance variable that we discussed in the last video. So we are going to start with integer ID, then int M1, M2. Sometimes, many students, they tend to start with void main and they start declaring these variable. Be careful. After the class, immediately you have to start declare the variables. Then only we call that as data members or instance variable. If you start with the method and inside that if you declare, then it becomes a local variable. No more it is called data members or instance variable. So if the name is given as data members or instance variable, and these variables supposed to be declared inside the class itself, not inside the method. So be careful while writing. Just once or twice you may make such type of mistakes, but as you continue writing the program, definitely that kind of confusion will go. So we take with next one M1, M2. Then I am taking one float variable, float AVG. Then member method we finished declaring. These 4 member methods are completed. Then that is member data members are completed. Now member methods. What is the first method? Set. So this method we are going to write now. So void set is going to take 3 arguments. So instance variables are set with the argument variable. This you saw in a writing tool program also, where color of an object was set with the argument variable. Same concept here also. id equal to tid, m1 is equal to tm1, then m2 is equal to tm2. So I finished assigning these variables, that's all. Once you finish with that, close the method. So we have to write the next method. The next method is void calculate. The calculate method, the description is given here, to find the average of two subjects. All of you know the formula to find the average of two subjects. There is a variable already here. We have taken one variable with the name average, that is equal to m1 plus m2, divide that by 2.0f. Then close the flower bracket. Calculate method is also done. Then void display. Display method is to display all the data members. So for each and every method you have to close. We have to start with the new method now, void display. Now here we are going to display system dot println. We are going to display here id equal to, or I can give a colon also, just a separator. Instance variable. Remember here what I am giving is a instance variable, not tid. tid is just local for this method. What I am giving is id, which is a instance variable. I told you this also in the last class. The scope of these variables are throughout the class, because we started these variable inside the class block. Where the class ends, within that anywhere you can able to access these instance variables. So I am displaying that now. Then next one I am going to display marks in two subject, and I require one float variable. So this is the mark 1, or if you want to give a subject name also you can give. This I will give it as mark 2. Then the next field is average. Here you can give a space, some more spaces, so that output you can show it in a proper format. The variables are m1, next variable is m2, the next variable is m3. Then close the display method. Now this is the end of the class. We have designed one class student with the data member and with 3 member method. 3, that is set, calculate, display. So data members and member methods are put together in a single unit called class, nothing but encapsulation. And here set method or these member method will operate on this, or which is going to make use of these instance variables. If you see here, we are making use of that. To calculate also, it is going to operate on the instance variable. Here also display method is making use of that. So these member method will operate on this instance variable. So our class student is completely designed. Once you finish with that, the next part of the question is, here, create an object and call the member methods. So that part I have not brought it into this question here. Okay. The next part of the question is what? Create an object for the above class and call the member method. I told you in the last class you can write one more class in the same program, or you can create one more. Okay, this I should make it as comment. This is average, not M3. Yes. The main class can be one more program you can create. Now student class, what I created, one more public class you can write in the same program, or you can create one more as a main class. Okay. While typing I type the class name, so whatever I type it will be taken as the same name only. Class, main class. Here void main, where we are going to create an object for the student class. You can see here. Okay, main class was given already in the other class, so let me give this as main class 1. If you see this student class, I have created, this is the class name. So I am going to create an object for that particular class here. So I'll take here main class void main student. I'm going to create an object now. obj1 is equal to new student of, means I created the very first object with the name obj1. This is the first student, and new student of, I am allocating a memory for this particular object. Once I finish with that, I want to set the data member of this object with id with 101, then marks in 2 subject. I'll give out of 100, I'll give it as 90 and then 95. So if you see set method, if you see the student class, okay, if you see the student class here, if you see here, set method is taking 3 arguments, m1, m2, m3, that is m1, m2 and tid. First one we are passing id, then mark 1 and mark 2. So you can pass the same thing here. So while writing, I will click on this. This is the object for this class. (101) is a student ID, 90 is a mark 1, mark 2. So set method is invoked. Then I'll call obj1 dot calculate to calculate the average. Then obj1 dot display. So all the method in which order is supposed to be invoked, that I had written it here. So you can able to you can see how the objects are calling each and every method with the dot operator. Last class you understood how we can access the data member and member method. So what I am doing is I am accessing the member method. You can also directly access. Now since we have a set method we are calling, assume that if there is no set method, you can only write here obj1 dot id is equal to 101. This also I discussed in the last video. So you can access instance variable like this directly with an object with a dot operator, or you can call the method. Through the method we are going to set the data member, that also you can do. So I am accessing the instance variable with the object here, object dot set, object dot calculate. So all the data members are set with the values we are going to calculate, and we are going to display this. So now if you compile, you can see the BlueJ screen here. Okay, let me close the class also. You can see there is a student class. There is a student class here. I created just now a main class. This is the one which I created now. The main class is calling the members of the student class. That is why you are able to see one arrow. This happens if you create a student as one program, means a program with only one class file. If you see this program, there is only one class with the name student, that's all. And one more main class, you made it as a separate program. So now no conflict, you can see the arrow mark here. A main class is the one which is going to call the members of the student. This is what we discussed in the last video. So this is how, when I am going to execute among the student and main class, you can see the arrow here. Main class is calling the student. So right click on this, this has to be executed first. Right click on this, create an object for the main class. And once you create an object here, when you right click on this, you can able to see only main method here. So once you click on this, you will be able to see the output, because all the methods set, calculate and display are called one after the other, and you are able to see the output like this. This is what the data which I gave, ID as 101, mark 1, mark 2, average. So this is how you can. Or if you don't want to create it as a separate program, I told you, you can also create inside the same class, inside the same program only you can. if you creating after the student, if you are going to create, now your program has got two class files, student and main class. There are two class file in the same program file. Now time being it is given as student. Now main class is the one which has to be executed first. I told you in the last video why we give public here. Public, which is a keyword which is given to a class which is supposed to be executed first. So the class which has to execute first, you make that class as public. Now when you compile, you can see the title bar here automatically changed to main class. Now let me compile. This class already existing, let me remove that. That is the reason it was giving the error message. Now I'll compile. Main class 1. Now I compile, because last one what I did, I should make a change because I that deleted one, with the deleted one I should compile. Now it is working, no errors. So both the class files are in the same class file only. Now I compiled. Now you can see the arrow, the same arrow, you can getting the arrow mark to the same file itself. So your file name is mainclass1.java. In that you have a class, so there is a object of the same program is calling the one more class of the same program file. That is what the meaning of arrow showing to itself. If you create two separate programs, you saw the arrow mark from the other class to this class. So right click now, again you can execute, you will be able to see the output, because already we are only setting the value, so you are getting the output like this. So this is how you can create an object in the same program or in the one more program. But when you are writing in the examination, doesn't matter, because you will be writing one after the other like this. But practically when you do, it is up to you. If you want, you can write in the same class. If you are writing in the same class, make the main class as a public. And if you make it as a separate class, there is no issue, anything can be. Even if you remove this also, it works fine. So this is how. If you want to create one more object, now I created student object. Let me create one more object now. I'll call that as object 2. Then same thing I'll call, I have to call the set method. Okay, let me write one by one so that you'll be able to follow. obj2 dot second student object. This is a first student details we set. Now I'm going to create second student information. I'm going to feed in now. obj2 dot set, let me give the object name, that is ID number as 102. The score is 80, then 90. 3 arguments for set method. Then obj2 dot calculate. Then obj2 dot display. Now if you want to display on the screen, like you are displaying student 1 information, student 2 information, that you can display here only. System dot out dot println student 1. You can write like this. Then here for the second student, you are going to display information. Where you are displaying, there if you display, that is there if you give a message, that is sufficient. So before the display method, I will give student 2. This is student 1. I can give that. But when you write like this, you will be able to follow. Okay, these things are for object 1 and the second one is for the second object. If I give like that. Now here only you can give. Now let me give a 2 lines of difference. All of you know \n as escape sequence for the new line. I finished writing for the second object. Let me give one single line gap so that you can able to see here first object information over second object. 2 objects we created for the student class. I'll right click new. So I get new 2 output now for 2 student. Student 1, student 2. So this is how you can create an object and you can see how it is working. Along with this video, I have given you one more question here. This is the one which I executed now. One more I have given you as a practice 19 homework question based on this classes and objects only. I want all of you to try this example. You try and same way, same like how we did the student class, same similar to that only. Now instead of student we have a salesman, and it has got code, sales and commission as an instance variable. Then you have a set method to set the data member, calculate the commission as 5% of sales. So you are going to take that input sales as an argument. For that input 5% of sales will be set for the commission. Display method is going to display all this code, sales and commission, how much they are getting commission. Then you have to create one more class, and where you are going to create an object for the class, and you are going to call the member method. First you try only with one object, create only one object. Just now like how I showed, where we created only one object. For the first time we created only one object, check the output. Then you create one more object also and you check the output of this. Write this program and come for the next class. So thank you students, you follow this, write with this, and we start with a new topic in the next video. Thank you.